Hey, what's up guys? My name is Jacob Orndorff and I'm a personal trainer here at UNC Wellness Centers. Here to talk to you regarding why half kneeling positions are important. The reason why this is because it helps you highlight some problem areas, right? By eliminating joints closer to the dysfunctional area, right? AKA the pelvis, what we're looking at today in these half kneeling positions. Especially for clients who sit a lot or experience back pain, they could be in this extended position of their pelvis, right? Where their pelvis tilts forward and you're creating some tension in your low back. It's hard to recognize this when you're on 2 feet. Okay, when you come down to kneeling, you get to eliminate your ankle joint, which then puts more emphasis on the pelvis area. So what you'll notice, it's probably a little bit harder to gain stability when you're in a kneeling position if you have that dysfunction. So what I like to do with my clients that are, generally sit a lot or experience back pain is get them in this kneeling position to feel that area, right? It helps you self-correct. It helps you figure out, okay, how can I get my pelvis maybe in more underneath me to create this neutral posture? And then we can accentuate that once we understand how to get into a neutral position without any load, or maybe we need load for them to feel that dysfunction. We get a kettlebell right in front of them, right? This is a pretty sizable kettlebell, and we just let them sit here and breathe. So a lot of times I'll just have my clients hang out in this position and they'll start to realize, holy smokes, I am feeling this, I can't believe how much work this is just trying to hold myself upright, right? And without feeling this first, they can't self-correct when they get back to their feet, doing deadlifts, doing kettlebell swings, doing squats, doing lunges, etc. Okay? All right, so once they get to this and they spend about a minute or two in this position, and they start to feel they got control over it, it's not fatiguing, then I'll take them to a half kneeling stance in an inline position, okay? Because the problem is you can still cheat that one a little bit more, but this one's very hard to cheat because you're essentially on a balance beam. You're taking away your base of support essentially with having me, more spread apart. So you can already see I'm wobbling a little bit. The key here, if you're back with your hip, you're going to be hanging mostly on your hip flexor to try to create stability, which is not the best strategy for that. For lateral, it's hip stability especially. So you need to get that hip underneath you in order to gain, control over this glute to keep you from falling over. And so once you're in this position, and we'll probably take some type of implement maybe to then mess with the brain, make both sides of the brain communicate with each other as we cross the midline. Now we're creating this dynamic motion on the upper half and then creating some lateral stability on the lower half, right? It's a really good way for a client to get some self-feedback without having to be coached a whole lot, right? So these positions are vital, I think, especially for somebody who presents maybe the anterior tilted pelvis, because it helps them gain feedback of how to self-correct it without having to overcoach them, because a lot of people don't even recognize that they have this issue. And that's a lot of the reasons why when they do traditional exercises, their back hurts or they just can't do them quite correctly. Usually it's just because they don't have the awareness of how to self-correct. So these are positions to give you that awareness. So take this information and utilize it.